The desert wind whispers ancient secrets, tales of the Navajo Skinwalker, a shapeshifter, a horror. Once these stories lived in the darkness between mesas and stars. Now the shadows have lengthened, reaching into our sterile, well-lit suburbs. The Skinwalker walks among us, cloaked in our normalcy. It yearns for more than just blood. It craves fear, it thrives on despair. Its power lies in our inability to believe, to accept that the monsters of our past can follow us home. The old stories warned of animalistic forms, of eyes that glowed with unnatural hunger. But the Skinwalker is cunning, adapting to survive. It learned, it evolved. It no longer needs to mimic the coyote or the owl when it can wear the face of your neighbor, your friend, even your lover. Suburbia, a haven of manicured lawns and quiet desperation. The perfect breeding ground for fear. We crave connection, crave community, blind to the darkness lurking beneath the surface. The Skinwalker exploits this. It seeks out the lonely, the vulnerable, the ones who won't be missed. It whispers promises of friendship, of love, of belonging. All the while, its true intentions fester beneath a deceptively charming facade. We yearn for the extraordinary, for a break in the monotony. We invite the unknown into our homes, into our lives, without realizing the ancient evil it carries within. The stories we tell ourselves, the rationalizations, they blind us to the truth, but deep down, a primal fear whispers. It tells us that something is wrong, terribly wrong.
The Henderson family, new to our street, seemed so normal. John, the father, always with a smile and a wave. Emily, the mother, baking cookies for the neighborhood children. Their son, David, a quiet, polite boy who kept to himself. They fit in perfectly, almost too perfectly. I was drawn to them, to their warmth, their normalcy. They were everything my life lacked. Looking back, I realize how easily I dismissed the subtle unease I felt in their presence. John would talk for hours about his work, his family, his life before moving here, but his stories were always vague, lacking specifics. Emily would flinch at unexpected noises, her eyes darting to dark corners, and David, he never spoke, only stared with an unnerving intensity that sent shivers down my spine. I ignored these signs, blinded by my own loneliness, my desperate need for connection. As weeks turned into months, the unease grew into full-blown fear. I noticed the way John's eyes seemed to glow in the dark, the unnatural stillness of Emily's movements, the way David seemed to glide rather than walk. The stories I had dismissed as folklore came rushing back, filling me with a chilling certainty. The Hendersons were not what they seemed. They were something else, something ancient and evil.
The Skinwalker had woven its magic, using my own loneliness against me. It had taken on the faces of the people I craved connection with, the family I longed for, and in my blindness, I'd invited it into my life, into my home.
The realization hit me like a physical blow. I had been so caught up in my own desires that I had failed to see the truth. I had walked willingly into the Skinwalker's trap. Panic surged through me, but it was quickly replaced by a cold determination. I had to escape, had to warn others. But how do you convince someone that their friendly neighbors are actually ancient monsters? The Skinwalker thrives on disbelief, on our inability to accept the impossible. I had to fight back, had to find a way to expose the Hendersons for what they truly were. The old stories spoke of rituals, of weaknesses, silver, fire, the name of the Creator spoken with true belief. I clung to these fragments of hope, these whispers of a way out. I had to believe that the human spirit, the will to survive, could overcome even the most ancient evil.
The Skinwalker's tale is a warning. It reminds us that the monsters of our past are not confined to dusty legends. They walk among us, wearing the faces of our friends, our lovers, our families. They prey on our vulnerabilities, our deepest desires. But the Skinwalker also teaches us a valuable lesson: to trust our instincts. When something feels wrong, when a situation sets off alarm bells in your mind, listen. Don't dismiss your intuition. Don't let your desire for connection blind you to the truth. The Skinwalker may have mastered the art of deception, but we hold the power within ourselves to see through its lies. We must remain vigilant, for the line between the real and the unreal is often blurred, and the monsters we deny are often the ones that haunt us the most.